Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rev Up for Success Radio. We are here broadcasting through Raven International Broadcasting, which is Amazing Women and Men of Power. And it is the leading positive broadcasting company, and we broadcast to many countries and many people get to hear us. And also now we are being broadcast on YouTube. You're finding this on YouTube too. So you have that recording to go back. And this way you get to see our lovely guests all the time and their energy and their enthusiasm to support you. And I invite people on my show that are already on their success journey. They're success experts. They don't like to be called that, but they're people, they like to be called ordinary people doing some extraordinary things. And they are. And they're here to come and pay it forward to help you be successful on your success journey so that you can, as I like to say, miss the potholes and get around those detours. And today we have with us, welcome RJ, the encourager, and she is the encourager. This is RJ Jackson. So good morning, RJ.
Good morning, beautiful. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you and looking forward to sharing words of encouragement with your listening audience and your viewers as well.
Now we have viewers. I know. Isn't that exciting?
It is.
Like we get to keep evolving. It's organic. God keeps adding new pieces, and I'm trying to hold on to this runaway horse, and I'm just enjoying the ride, and I'm so glad I get to share it with some of my amazing friends like RJ. Well, let me tell you a little bit about RJ. I'm going to read a little bit about her bio for you. She's the rock the boat expert, the comeback queen, international speaker, and master encourager, and she truly is the master encourager. RJ has seen too many people with amazing gifts, talents, and a defined purpose settle for less than they deserve, become a hostage to the pain of their past, and lose their way to conformity and the circumstances of life. They are convinced that it's too difficult to get back up, too risky to start over, and too late to dream again. And I know you're going to turn that around today, because I know you even have dream board classes. You teach people how to dream. And I do that too, but you are truly the expert at that.
Oh, thank
you. Over 3 decades of life coaching, speaking, and the circumstances of life. With over 3 decades of life coaching, speaking, broadcasting, and most importantly, real life on the battlefield experiences, RJ view is radically different. While most believe that everyone has a story, RJ believes that everyone is a success story. And I'm going to leave the rest for you to fill in, because I love ending on that thought. Everybody has a success story, RJ. So
everybody is a success story.
They are. And you have a lot of certification and a lot of recognition and credentials for over the years. And one thing I actually am getting to follow a little bit in your footsteps is you have been a presenter, an educator on cruises.
Yes. One of the greatest parts of my journey, because I actually had an opportunity to meet people from all over the world. And Claudia, at the end of the day, my day is always about people. Mm-hmm. And I love people, and I love helping people live out their greatness and live their best life ever. So I so enjoyed meeting people from all over the world in a relaxing environment, because when you're on a cruise, you can't help but relax.
Kind of let everything just go. Even you eat when maybe you've been on a strong diet, all of a sudden you're eating all these wonderful foods. Everything just goes to the wind. So you're so open to receiving things that can help you grow and develop your possibilities.
Yes.
So let's talk about settling. You said you refuse to settle. What do you mean by that?
You know, as I mentioned earlier, as you mentioned earlier in the bio, and thanks for asking that question. It's a great question. As you mentioned earlier, people feel like they're not good enough. There's not enough time. It's too late. And so they take the first boat that's traveling and they get on it and they settle. And what I mean by settling is they take less than what they deserve. They live in a place that they're dying, and they're trying to find life. Instead of living to the fullest, giving it their best, and accepting what they deserve, they settle. They say, I'm comfortable here. It feels good. It's familiar. I'll take it. And they take it. And it's time out for people taking less than they deserve. It's time for people to live their life to the fullest.
How do they step into that, RJ?
Well, they have to do just what you said. They have to step in to their purpose and step out of conformity. And what conformity is doing it the way everyone else is doing it. They have to realize that they're different, they're unique, they have a purpose. There's a reason why they're here. Nobody is an accident. Everybody has purpose. And so discovering what is my purpose? Why am I here? What, as Rick Warren says, what on earth am I here for? And it's having the courage to figure that out. And Claudia, we live in a cookie cutter world where people will tell you, here's 5 steps how to do it. Baloney. There are no 5 steps. There's no secret to it. It's a matter of getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of the boat and discovering it. And that means you got to put something in to get the answer out.
So that would be putting in some time, some soul searching.
Some soul searching, some time, perhaps reading, going to programs that offer you ability to discover and look within yourself. Yes, asking the master himself, why on earth am I here? You know? And that's scary for some people. So I get that. But there's no magic pill. There's no come to my seminar and figure it out. I'm sure you can come to my seminar and get some information that will cause transformation. But the key doesn't lie within me. It doesn't. And so I encourage people to look to the creator to figure it out. Because if I make something, I wish I had something here to demonstrate. Let me just use this right here. You know, we all know what this is. We all know what it's for, right? Because we've been told what it is, how it works, and what it's for. And we use it for that. And every time something new comes for it, we use it for that. But we don't make up anything to use it for. I don't say, I'm going to use this to apply my makeup. It's not for that purpose, right? Once we figure out the purpose and we use it, we discover more and more about it. The same thing holds true for us.
And I love that you used the phone as an example, because in the beginning, most of us used it just to make a call. Now we do texting, and we do Facebook, and we do all kinds of the apps.
Music,
and all kinds. Take pictures, the photos.
Yes, absolutely.
But I remember the first time even trying to use it for some of those new applications, I was afraid. I thought I might break the phone, or it might not work. I don't know what I thought was the reason. I just was a little nervous. So you're right. When you do that, but I would not use it to apply my makeup. I wouldn't do that. I might go online and pull up information from there on how to put the makeup on, but it's never going to put on the moisture. It's never going to put on the eyeshadow or the mascara. It won't do that. It just can't.
Absolutely.
And I love that. That's a great analogy, because we each are born with our own purpose. And your purpose isn't going to work for me. And mine won't work for you. I mean, we might have some similar things that cross over because we've worked together before, and we bring both of our gifts, but they're different. We bring those gifts together to create something together, but they're different gifts and purposes. So I love that you used the phone. I'm glad that's all you had around. It was a great example. But let me ask. I know. Let me ask you the next question. Life after life. I see that saying and your hashtag all over and the web and social media. What's your message for women as it relates to life after life?
Life after life. You know, Claudia, life happens. And so much of life happens that we'd rather not happen. but it happens. And it really isn't about what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. Because there's so much about life, literally, we have no control over. And so when you hear, read, or even say life after life, I want you to understand this. You are not your circumstance. You are not your situation. You are not what happened to you. You are who you were created to be. And those things help mold you and shape you, give you a message to give someone else hope. Let me give you an example. For the last 2 years, I've been recovering from a major accident. It happened. I didn't have any plans for it to happen. And if you want to know the truth about it, I don't even know what happened because the accident was so bad. The injuries I experienced were so horrific that I can't even tell you my own story of what happened. But here's what I know. Life happened. And I survived. And I survived because there is life after life happens. The question is, now what am I going to do with what happened? Am I going to lay here and die after I've been saved from death? Or am I going to get up and live and help somebody else do the very same thing? I'll take door number 1 with life, please. And so that's what I want people to know and experience, and not from my words, but from my life. I want people to look at me and go, oh my gosh, RJ, last time I saw you, and actually, honestly, this just happened yesterday. I saw a girl, she said, I saw you about 6 months ago, and you were in a wheelchair, and I thought, is that RJ? No way, that cannot be RJ. But it was me. But she could not phantom the fact that I was in a wheelchair. And I want you to know I was in that wheelchair for almost a year and a half. But I rode that wheelchair around and smiled at people, helped people, gave my life away. Why? Because there is life after life. And I don't want people to hear my words. I want them to see me living life after life so that they'll know they can do it too. Have you ever heard the saying, it doesn't matter how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get back up that matters?
Yes.
I don't know who to give the credit to for that, but I know I didn't say it, but I know I live it. And it's true. It doesn't matter how many times you fall down because life happens. Get back up. Get back up, my friend, because there is life after life. And it gets greater later. And in the end, you're promised victory. But you got to get up and get back in. There is life after life. Thank you for asking that question, because that's an important message for me to share with people. Because people literally are dying to live. And they don't know how to get back up. They don't know you can eat an elephant one bite at a time. They don't know. But I'm here to tell them.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, okay. Let's move on, because I don't want to run out of time without sharing all of your wonderful, your little golden nuggets.
Awesome. Thank you.
Tell me about a project or an accomplishment that you consider to be your most significant in your life.
Okay, I'm going to keep it short, but I'm going to tell you 2. Is that all right?
Sure.
They're very short. So I'm very, very fortunate to be able to understand that life is not measured by what you have. Life is measured by what you give. That's one of my mentors saying, Zig Ziglar, bless his soul as he rests in peace. Well, I have an opportunity to give my life away every day, and I love doing that, especially on the mission field. Going to places with people who can't give you anything back, who are not only dying to live, but are hungry for love and food. So we were in Haiti, and one of my most memorable things that I've ever done was to give a cold drink of water to a young boy. Clean water. because in Haiti, they don't have clean water. Matter of fact, we paid $60 for probably about 12 bottles of water.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we were walking back to the village, through the village, and this little boy came, and we just said, "Would you like some water?" And we gave him a bottle of water. And I have the picture on my camera, and most of all in my heart, of watching him chug that water down until it was almost gone. And it really broke my heart because we take water for granted. We get water at the restaurant. We don't even drink it. And there are people in the world who don't even have clean water, who would love to have a drink of water. So that's my first one. My second one is when we were in Kenya. Again, I have opportunity to go on the mission field. We were in Kenya, and we were doing a tour of a health facility. And the lady that was giving the tour said to us, "Women die here, and they die giving birth to their children." And I was like, "Why?" She said, "Because they run into complications, and we don't have a major medical facility here, and the roads are so bad, we can't get them to the hospital." And I was like, "Why?" She said, "Well, as you saw when you came in, how muddy the roads were, it gets difficult. We need an ambulance, and we don't have one." "Why not?" She said, "We don't have the funds." "Well, how much does it cost?" And so I said, "Well, that's going to change. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to make it my mission that you get one. And we're going to do this." I said, "Give me 4 years, and we are going to purchase this for you, because women need to live and their children need to live." And Claudia, by the grace of God, and because people believe in what God has put in my heart, in 1 year, we raised $14,000 and purchased that vehicle for that facility in Kenya.
Mm.
I had raised all the money to purchase it. When we think of an ambulance, we think sirens and all of that. For them, it's just a four-wheeler car that needs to be converted. I had raised all the money with the help of other people who supported me. I dedicated that whole year. I didn't want birthday presents, Christmas presents, nothing. I wanted people to give me money to purchase this vehicle. And after we purchased it, I had a school call me and say, "Hey, we heard about what you were doing. How can we help?" I said, "We got it. It's done. But we need to convert it." And they brought their whole school in, did a fundraiser, and raised another $5,000 to have it converted, so that we see what we think of when we think of ambulance. So people are not going to die on my watch. It's just not going to happen.
Wow. Well, great stories. That's great stories. I was just sharing something along those lines on a webinar I was doing, and how we can, if we live in gratitude, which you do,
Absolutely.
it automatically overflows into contribution. And people see that in you, and they want to come alongside of you and help you in your contribution and what you're wanting to give back to the world. So
absolutely.
I do believe it starts in your heart with gratitude. When you have that gratitude in your heart for all the things that have come your way and gratefulness, it just overflows and you want to give back. Okay, so another question. Let's see here. Let me take just a quick second. I want to just promote a little.
Would you like a glass of water?
Please have some water. I'm pushing water today. I just did on my Ignite Your Week little Facebook Live today. I did drink 100 ounces of water a day. So I'm telling all of you to do the same thing on any given day. Drink 100 ounces.
I like keeping it real, so I'm thirsty. So yeah.
That's great. Well, okay, so what I am wanting to share with everybody is I have a new mastermind starting, because RJ has 3 best-selling books. I have 4 #1 best-selling books, award-winning books, and I didn't do my first one until 4 years ago, and now here I have 4. But I want to help other people have their books, because everybody has a message or a story or some tips that they need to share with the world, your legacy. So I am doing a book writing mastermind. So you can go onto my website, claudiacooley.com, and get more information, or you can email me at claudia@claudiacooley.com and just put in there, "get it done," which means you want to get your book done. And that's what this mastermind is. 90 days to get your book written. And that's what, and I'm called the Get It Done Coach. You have a little nicer name, the Encourage Giver, but I am the Get It Done Coach. And I was a teacher, and I know how to help you get it done. So that's going to be available to you. So that's going to be starting in another month. So come find out and get the free videos on how to write your book. I have 3 videos on how to write your book, and that sets you up to go into the mastermind so that you can get it done in 90 days. So thank you for paying attention to that and moving on that, because we got to get it done. We want to get these things out there. Well, let's come back to another question for you, RJ, is can you leave us with a cup of courage from the Courage Giver?
Absolutely. It'd be my pleasure. And first, let me just say thank you for this opportunity to be here, be a part of your journey, your amazing journey, your life-giving journey. Thank you for what you're doing to make a difference. And on those days you get up and you feel like, is it working? I want you to know it's working. You are touching lives. And so be encouraged and keep putting one foot in front of the other, because someone needs you, Claudia. Someone needs you to survive.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. I'm looking as half as good as I look today.
You look great.
Because I have to tell you, because of so many of the wonderful tips that you gave in your Dress for Success. So thank you. Thank you. Well, now I want to encourage people, just as you said, to get it done. And one way to get it done, whatever it may be for you in your journey, where you are right now. I'm not talking about where you will be tomorrow. I'm talking about where you are right now. You have to realize that you don't have to live where you're dying, and you don't have to die where you're living. That there is life after life, and the world awaits your greatness. So in order to get it done, my friend, you must get up. And realize this, you can't do it alone. So if getting up is a struggle for you, then the first thing I ask you to do, and do it today, look up and reach out. And as you reach out, you'll find my hand, you'll find God's hand being extended to you to say, this is the time to live your best life. Tomorrow is not promised, and someone needs you in order to survive. So those are my encouraging words for people to live life to the fullest, life after life.
Well, you have 3 books. Can you share a little bit with our audience about your books?
Awesome. Actually, I have about 7 books. I have 3 of them here. These are my latest 3. So this one here is A Cup of Courage for Your Crisis. I actually penned this when I was recovering from a brain injury from my car accident. And this one is to encourage you that no matter what you go through, just have a cup of courage. You're going to get through it. The key word is it shall pass. You'll get through. All right. So that's The Cup of Courage. And then my next 2 are anthologies. This one is Take Heart, Stories of Heaven Here on Earth, because this is what I believe people need to do. They need to take heart. And so I wrote this one with several authors, as you'll see here, and you can find more information on all of these books on my website, which I'll tell you that in a minute. And my last one, just hot off the press. Hot off the press. Stand still and watch God move. Again, co-authors are listed here on the back. And I have to say, including my 2 grandchildren. Our youngest author is 14 years old, and then our second youngest is 16, and we have a 19-year-old in here as well, because life is about legacy, right? So we include our young people as well. I have one right now, Claudia. It's in print. It should be delivered by the end of this month. I wrote it for my granddaughters. It's called Strands of Pearls for the Girls. And they are words of wisdom, everything that we as mothers and women should tell our daughter. And sometimes we run out of time or we don't know how to say it. So it talks about everything from sex abuse, relationships, God, communication, money, everything they need to know to start Nuggets. And with that one, I'm actually going to go on tour with teen girls and actually use the Nuggets to teach them the valuable lesson from the Nugget. So I'm really excited about that one.
That's awesome. That is cool. Just to piggyback real quick, it's really not even very, it's not powerful, but something I did with my granddaughter when she was 9, she lived in England and I was here and I wasn't sure how to stay connected with a 9-year-old. And she loves to write and she likes to write poetry now. And she's in her 20s now, but she will always be using those tools, those gifts, I'm sure. However, so what she would do is, the whole goal was she would email me 4 lines to a poem. And of course it rhymed. And then I would put a graphic to it and then I would return, and she picked the topic, the zoo, which I don't know much about animals, but I had to learn. We did this for like 14 months and we created this huge document. I have it in the notebook. I think I should have it published into something. But so we went through this journey together, and she would write 4 lines, I would write 4 lines. I kept putting the graphics in to keep us both stimulated. And how fun was that?
Yes.
And I know it kept her and I connected closely when all the water and miles were in between us. And Skype and all that wasn't so big then. And it kept us connected. So if that encourages any mom or grandma, maybe, I'm just throwing that into the mix too, because you talked about teenagers and I have such a heart for teenagers. And I'm so glad that you're bringing them into what you do. What a wonderful legacy you're leaving for them. So let's talk about how people can get a hold of you, and what I know that you're still in standby a little bit because she's an amazing speaker. So when she pops up and you can hear her at any kind of a speaking engagement, you want to go for sure. So you just watch, she'll be on Facebook and that type of thing, but tell them how they can get to your website and all of that.
Thank you, Claudia, and thank you for that compliment and for that legacy you left with your granddaughter. And if I can just plug this really quick, I would say get that book published at a place that publishes one book and give that to her as a gift for the next event. I think that's amazing. You said it wasn't powerful. It's life-changing.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure it changed her life as well as your life. It's a great thing for parents to do even today. So thank you for sharing that. I love to connect with people who are dying to live, who just need a word of encouragement, who want to be reminded that they're not alone and there is life after life. And connecting with me is really easy. Matter of fact, after I give you the information on how to connect with me, I want to say to you, if you mention that you listen to or watch this broadcast, then I'm going to give you 10 minutes to say thank you personally. I'm just going to thank you personally for connecting with me. And you can find that's at The Courage Giver, TheCourageGiver, The Courage Giver. You can find me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on every social media. You can find me there at The Courage Giver, or you can also hashtag Life After Life. And I'd love to personally connect with you.
Nice. Thank you, RJ, for being here today. This has been great. I know we could chat for many more hours because you have such a wealth of knowledge and things to give to us. And I always treasure every conversation with you, any of them. If 2 minutes to an hour or more, I love it. So thank you for saying yes to being here today. So
thank you for having me.
And everybody, remember, thank you for being here for one thing, but remember, follow your vision and your path will show up. And you have an awesome week, and we'll be back together next week.